welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this week's Pinterest win or fail video. So for this week, I wanted to find something that I could tie kind of to the holidays and find some kind of treat or something that I might be able to take for work to one of our department is every department at work, we all get together, and then one day a week leading up to our holiday break, we have some food, and it starts, I believe, December 7th. And so I kind of want to try some recipes before our day, which is on, I believe, December 12th. And I wanted to kind of come up with a few recipes that I could take that I would feel like I could eat, but also I want it to be something that I say the kids because I just heard my kids, so something that my coworkers would not mind eating as well. So I wanted it to be something that no one would guess was a lower like Weight Watcher point for me, but also wouldn't guess that it has substitutions in it that is going to make it lower sugar, lower fat, that type of thing. So this week I saw on Pinterest a recipe, and actually I've had this pinned to my board. That's where I'm getting most of my Pinterest win or fails, is pins I've already had on my boards that I just haven't tried yet because I was always a little bit unsure about them. So that's kind of what spurred this video series to begin with. So this is one I've had pinned for a long time, and I've seen these all over Pinterest. I mean, the whole cake box and like pumpkin, or cake box and like pie filling type thing. And this one was actually a brownie mix with a can of pumpkin. But I wanted to do it lower sugar because I think this was a points plus. Weight Watchers, it was just a picture and it just said Weight Watchers point plus. I think it said 3 points plus, and it was just a box of brownie mix and a can of pumpkin. But since I'm on Smart Points, I know a lot of things went up in points, and I think it was due to the sugar content, if I'm understanding correctly, the difference between Points Plus and Smart Points. I've never been on Points Plus, so I don't know. But, so I thought I'm going to try a box of sugar-free brownies, which I looked up, and yes, there is such a thing, but I could not find it in my stores. So I picked up a box of sugar-free cake mix instead, and a can of pumpkin. So let's get into the recipe and let's see if this is a win or fail. Okay, so the ingredients for this Pinterest win or fail is really simple. It's two things. We have a sugar-free cake mix and a can of pumpkin. Now, as I said earlier, this is supposed to be brownies, but since I could not find the brownie mix, we're going to do cupcakes. So you also will need a cupcake pan and sprayed with olive oil. Now, this original recipe, like I said before, I've seen this all over Pinterest. The original recipe did say, like I said, to use just regular cake mix, because when I couldn't find the brownie mix, I looked up, I said, well, I'm sure you can do this with cake mix. So I did find the cake mix and pumpkin. And it said to make 16 cupcakes, but I only have a 12 pan, and I do have some 6 ones, but I just figured I'm just going to do 12, and so it came out to 3 points for 12 of them, so that's what we're going to go with. Okay, and this recipe was just a picture. I'm sure if I dug deeper, there would have been maybe some actual websites that had some information, but I figured what kind of tips could there be for this when it's literally just a can of pumpkin and some cake mix. The doubts I have about this recipe that makes me kind of want to do it as a Pinterest versus just a recipe video is because, one, I've never tried it before, and two, I just have my doubts that this is going to be very sweet. Even if I had used the regular cake mix, the non-sugar free, just the regular, I just still wonder about the sweetness, because pumpkin isn't necessarily sweet unless you add something to it. And also, which I'm seeing right now, another thing I'm kind of wondering about is it going to mix all together, because I feel like you need some kind of liquid to it. I'm just going to work with this and I think you're just going to have to work it, because I do feel like it is kind of coming together the more I work with it. So I'm going to work with this, and I'll be back and show you what it ends up looking like. Okay, so it's finally coming together. I mean, it just took a few minutes, but just when I think I have it all, I scrape, and there's some right there on the bottom. But I think I got it all mixed up really good. I'm going to grab a measuring cup or something. I cannot find my ice cream scoop that I used to use for muffins and stuff. I don't know. I think it's in one of my bins in the garage. So hold on one second. Okay, so also I set my oven for 325. That's what it says on the back of the box. Since again, this recipe was literally just a picture on Pinterest. You know how sometimes they have that. So I just did what it said on the box, which was 325. And I think it says 19 to 23 minutes for muffins or cupcakes. So we'll just go with that to start. So I'm just using a 1/3 cup measuring cup. And this is a very, very thick batter. So I have a feeling they're going to be really dense. But I think this would be good. I mean, if this turns out good, this would be a nice little treat to take for a holiday party, family gathering, work thing that you know that one of these is only 3 points. And I think with me doing 12 versus 16, I think I might have done too much in each one. They're going to be nice sized muffins. And I think when you're talking something chocolate and pumpkin-y, I think it's a nice treat. So I'm going to get the rest of these in here and I'll be right back. Okay, so there we go. I think I fit 12 perfectly. These would have been really small if they would have been 16. So I'm going to throw these in the oven. I think I'll start out with 15 minutes and just go from there, because my oven tends to cook kind of hot. And I will let you know how many minutes it takes. Okay, muffins are out, and I will taste test these on camera, so stay tuned. Okay guys, so I'm going to taste the muffin. So it's just a regular, so like I said before, the picture that I saw on Pinterest, and it didn't have a recipe attached to it, it said 16 of them, but I just did 12 because this, I mean, it's a good size, as you can see. I mean, and actually I could have scraped the batter a little bit more and put them in there, but I was in a hurry, and so I didn't. So as you guys saw, this is 1 box of sugar-free chocolate cake mix and 1 can of pumpkin, and it baked for exactly 20 minutes. I just baked it until a toothpick came out clean. So it was exactly 20 minutes in a 325-degree oven. So let's try this. You know, I was really worried. Sorry. I was really worried about the sweetness. I've never had sugar-free cake mix before, and it's sweetened with Splenda, which is what I use in my coffee. But I was afraid that the pumpkin would make it too, you know, pumpkin's not really, really sweet, so I'm afraid it would take out some of the sweetness. But this is really good, guys, and it's so moist. And I actually think that this would make a good cake, too, if you want to do a cake versus cupcakes. But I think this is good for 3 points. I really do. But yeah, if you made it into a cake and then cut it into how many pieces that you wanted to cut it into, you could actually cut down the points. If you got the cake into, you know, maybe cut it into 16 pieces, I think that cuts it down to 2 points, but I'm not positive. But yeah, I think this is definitely a win. I haven't had for my fails so far in the series, but I really think I might take this to my Christmas food holiday thing at work, because I really think that people would like this, and I think they would never know that it was sugar-free. And you know, there are a few people there, I think, who know what Weight Watchers are, so they wouldn't understand the pointing if I told them how many points it was. So anyway, I think this is a win, and I highly recommend it. If you don't mind artificial sweeteners, I know a lot of people are against that, so if it's something that you don't mind, then I definitely recommend this. You might also plug in the points, what the points would be for the regular one. It may not be very many more points, I don't know. But anyway, it was a win. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time in the next Pinterest win or fail video. Bye.